I'm running for governor because Utah's a great state and we can do better. Let me give kind of an illustration of what I mean of how we can do better. I like to use the example of one of our kids that's in school that's getting A's, B's, and C's. And we know that our child has the potential to be a straight A student. Utah is getting some A's, some B's, and some C's, and there's some areas that we need to do better on. One of those that I've been a leader in is getting access to our public lands, and why that is so important if we want to eliminate, and I am so bold as to say eliminate our state income taxes. The way we do that is we get to our natural resources. That'll take a fight with the federal government. It'll take a lot of effort. It requires our passion and going after every legal avenue we have to get to those resources. When we do that, we eliminate our state income taxes, we change how we fund education, and we create thousands upon thousands of jobs. I'm very passionate about some issues. Reporters like to say, you know, what's wrong with the current governor? I'd like to say, what's right with Ken Sumsion for governor? Public lands, I've been a leader in that fight. I understand the legalities that we face. I understand our state's Enabling Act. I understand these things. I understand our education and how we fund it. We need to simplify it. We need to get back to local control. We need to incentivize parents to be involved in their child's education. And where our education has become a top-down program, we need to make it a bottom-up program. And those issues I'm very passionate on. My background is a CPA. I am very interested in the budget of our state. I will not be a hands-off governor. I'll be very involved. One of the things that I am putting out is that we need to zero-base budget our state government. What that means is that we need to start every year, we wipe the slate clean, and a state agency has to justify to the governor what monies that they were requesting from the legislature. On those issues, I will be very engaged and will push very hard to see us move from B's and C's to A's. You know, on issues, and certainly this could be one of them, the process in 477 wasn't probably the best, and I can point to other legislation that sometimes goes through too quickly, probably doesn't have enough public debate. But I think in calling the legislature back into special session, should have just vetoed the bill. Be done with it, move forward, and that's my commitment. When you look at my record and you see where I vote no, many times, I will vote the same way as the governor. I will veto legislation that I don't agree with, that doesn't fit into our Constitution and the limitations that the Constitution, both Constitutions place on government, or fits within my fiscal principles that I govern by. One of the commitments I'm making as the next governor of the state of Utah is every single year that I turn a budget into the legislature, it will be smaller. It will be a smaller state government budget than the year before. And it will also include less federal monies and with no tax increases. Those are the things that I would do different. If legislation comes to my desk that adds to the size of government, adds to the regulations in any aspect of our lives, particularly business, I'll veto it. The biggest thing we can do to improve the economy of our state is to get the government out of the way of business, and then we go to the country and businesses in the world and say, look what Utah has to offer. We don't have to give them special rewards to come to Utah. We simply champion, look at our business environment. And it's pretty good. But again, we can do better. Are we an A+ state? No, we may be a B or B+ state. We can make ourselves an A- and A by eliminating government regulations, and I will do that as governor. I will veto legislation that comes to me that puts a heavier burden on individuals and on businesses. And as we do that, we create an environment that will grow this state's economy. Number one, we have got to get access to our public lands. There are trillions and trillions of dollars of natural resources in these lands. That's tens of thousands of jobs. You look at North Dakota, 3% unemployment. Why? They're drilling like crazy. They're taking our oil rigs to North Dakota. We've got to get access here. That's number one. Number two, as I touched on, we've got to reduce government regulation. We've really, instead of we do some here and we cut some there and then we add some back, we need a serious effort of simplifying the processes that our businesses have to operate under. If we do that, I mean, Utah's such a great state. We have a great work ethic. We have great, well-educated people, populace. We have resources. We have so much to offer, and we need to sell that in a zero regulation type business that is very limited. Yes, there are places for regulations from government, but they should be very judicious in where we put in those regulations.